Today, I'm going to show you my latest project. It's a coin-operated vending machine. It accepts quarters and dispenses fun-sized candy bars that are securely stored in the machine, protected by a lock and key. It's made up of stackable units which operate independently. Insert a quarter, turn the knob, and get a piece of candy. No electronics, no motors, just old-fashioned mechanical design. The candy dispenser uses a coil, just like a real vending machine, and each coil can hold up to 5 pieces of candy. The coin mechanism is based on an old-school gumball machine. It uses a pivoting arm to check the size of the coin, so if you put in a quarter, it will allow you to turn the handle all the way. But if you use any other coin, it will be rejected. Accepted coins travel down a chute and collect in a drawer in the base, which is accessed from the back. Turning the handle will rotate a bevel gear connected to the vending unit, which dispenses 1 piece of candy for each turn of the handle. The candy drops down a chute in the front where it can be picked up. These gears have a 1-to-1 gear ratio, meaning 1 rotation of the handle equals 1 rotation of the coil. If you like mechanical design, 3D printing, or even vending candy to yourself 1 quarter at a time, this might be of interest. Let's get into how it works and how you can make one for yourself. The idea for this project came to me when I saw a design contest on Makerworld for a 3D printed candy dispenser. I figured a vending machine would be a fun project, but I knew it was a big undertaking, especially since I only had 3 weeks to finish before the contest ended. The first problem I had to solve was the coin mechanism. I had no idea how they worked, so I found some YouTube videos showing restorations of old gumball machines, and they were surprisingly simple. So I took some screenshots and brought them into AutoCAD to reference while I laid out the basic geometry. I then brought this into Fusion 360 to create a prototype, and it actually worked on the first try. I then set out to figure out the vending machine coil, which proved to be much more difficult. I'm sure there's a clever way to design the coil based on the size of the objects you want it to hold, but I just used trial and error until I got something that worked. I played around with some ideas for uniting the coin mechanism and vending coil. The first was to position the coils front to back just like a real vending machine and connect the coin mechanism with a spur gear. This probably could have worked functionally, but I didn't really like it because the machine would have had a really weird L-shaped footprint. So I switched gears, literally, and used bevel gears to turn the coil sideways. I found a Fusion 360 plugin to generate the bevel gears and put in some tests, and yeah, it worked. With the basics worked out, I generated the first functional prototype, and it actually worked on the first try, which was surprising, but it still needs a bunch of work. The coin mechanism works, the vending unit works, and there's a chute where the coins can drop down when multiple units are stacked. From here, I designed the outer shell of the machine. There's a base where the candy lands and a drawer where the coins collect. There is a lever lock on the back, which has a 2-sided bolt to secure the coin drawer and the back cover. The machine is topped with a cap that screws into place, and there is a big cutout to allow access to the top row of candy. To enclose everything, a rear door is added, and this door and hinge were surprisingly difficult because I wanted it to share a lock with the coin drawer, and it had to be big enough to allow full access to stock the machine. Different doors are required depending on how many units are added. The door for a single unit is pretty simple, it just lifts up like this. And the same is true for the double door, but that's getting to be a pretty big print. So for the triple door, I introduced a second hinge, which allows the door to print in multiple pieces. The quadruple door uses the same top and bottom pieces as the triple door, but it adds a panel in between. And for anything more than 4 units, you can just add more of these center panels, and it can be as tall as you want. Although I've never gone more than 4, so if you want to go to 5 or 6 or even more, like something like that, then that's on you. So that's the story of the design. It was prompted by the Makerworld Design Contest, and I'm very pleased to say that I came in first place. It was a fun challenge and a good change of pace from the vaults and locks I've been designing for the past 2 years. I'm always in search of interesting mechanical designs, which can be recreated via 3D printing, and I always just wind up making vaults. So, yeah, if you have any ideas for mechanical stuff that I could recreate, I'm very open to suggestions. The files are available for free on Makerworld and Printables, so you can make one of these for yourself. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with mini printers. You need something at least as big as Bamboo Labs A1 or Prusa MK4. And obviously bigger printers are compatible. So yeah, let me show you how this goes together. Before I get into the assembly, I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop shop for all of your prototyping needs, offering custom fabrication services including PCBs, CNC machining, and 3D printing in a wide variety of materials. Placing orders on the website is simple, prices are affordable, and delivery is fast, so if you're working on a project that needs a special part, PCBWay has you covered. Right now, PCBWay is celebrating their 11th anniversary and have some great discounts and exclusive coupons which you won't want to miss. These are only available for a few more days, so don't miss your chance to celebrate their anniversary with some great parts at even greater prices. You can use the link in the description for $5 off your first order, so if you need custom PCBs, 3D printing, or CNC services, now is the time to give PCBWay a try. Thank you to PCBWay for supporting this video. Assembly begins with the coin mechanism. The faceplate requires 6 threaded inserts, and the handle requires 2, so it's easier to start by adding those. You will also want to glue in a 40mm metal dowel into the back frame. Then glue the spring in as shown and add the lower clicker. The coin arm goes on here, and make sure the leg is to the left of the little peg. The coin cog goes in place next. This is a cog for US quarters, but there are also €1 and €2 cogs available as well. Add the internal frame over everything and make sure it rests flat on the faceplate. Slide the handle through the cog and add the gear. Then secure it with the gear cap and 2 screws. Add the back frame next, pushing the dowel into the hole in the handle and screw it to the faceplate with 3 M4H10 screws. All other screws in this build will be M4H8, but the screws securing the back frame to the faceplate are the only exception. With everything screwed together, the handle should only be able to turn with a quarter inserted. Next, we're going to assemble the vending unit. Start by adding 3 threaded inserts into the frame. This frame was printed as a single piece on my Bamboo Lab H2D, but if you don't have a large format printer, there's a version with 2 pieces that glue together. We need to add the coil now, but before we do that, we need to remove the support material. I usually go to great lengths to avoid support material, but there's just no way to avoid it with a shape like this. I tried printing it on its side, which does minimize the supports, but is just not very smooth. So I recommend printing it vertically like this. I added a sacrificial disc at the bottom which prevents organic supports from forming on the inside of the coil, making it much easier to remove, but honestly it's still a bit of a chore. Glue the coil to the spur gear and add a bearing to each side. Put the vending tray into place and note the layout of the alignment tabs. Then slide the coil and gear into place and push the bearings onto the pegs. Now we're going to take the coin mechanism and screw it into the frame with 3 screws. The orientation of the coil is important, so follow the next step carefully. Before adding the coin mechanism, rotate the coil so the tail is at about 10 o'clock. Then make sure the handle on the coin mechanism is horizontal and push the two pieces together. It might shift slightly as the bevel gears mesh, but that's okay. Screw everything together and give it a try. The handle can rotate a small amount without a coin, so make sure the candy does not fall until the coin has been accepted. So this makes up one vending unit, and you can repeat these steps for as many units as you want to make. Next, we're going to assemble the base and the lock. I printed this base as a single piece, but like the frame, it can be printed in two smaller pieces if desired. The lock frame has 2 threaded inserts, and the lock cap has 4, which I already added. Add the bolt to the frame and make sure it can move freely. The spring is added next, and it will be held in place by the cap, so glue is not needed. The 3 levers go on next, and they each have indentations to indicate the order of installation, so 1 goes on first, 2 goes on second, and 3 goes on third. The key has teeth which align with each lever and lift them to the correct height to align the gates and allow the bolt to pass. If you've seen any of my recent videos, this will look familiar. Screw the lock cap in place and the lock is complete. It's added to the base with 2 screws as shown. The coin drawer slides into the opening below the lock, and turning the key will lock the drawer in place. The lock bolt aligns with a notch in the drawer and slides over to keep the drawer closed and the coins inside safe. The base is complete, and it's time to add the first vending unit. It drops into place and is secured with 3 screws. The vending units are modular, so the screw locations are the same on every level, including the base and the cap. Add as many units as you want, but for this video I'm just going to do 2. There are alignment pins on the top and bottom of each unit, so they will align easily. The cap goes on next, and it too is secured with 3 screws. The door is connected to the cap with 2 40mm by 5mm metal dowels. As I mentioned earlier, different doors are required depending on how many units are stacked. And this project is complete. It took a lot of work, but I'm really happy with the result. This is by far the largest thing I've ever designed, and you would not believe the amount of filament I burned through. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you choose to print one for yourself, I would love to see some photos on Makerworld or Printables. Thanks for watching.